Huskies go 2-0. They're facing Quad University.
Slam. Oh. Anthony Roberts. Ball three. Gets it. From 3 point. Oh my goodness. Instead to a back-cutting Tori Wards. What a find, what a cut, and a finish for Tori. Lane for Caitlin Peterson. Hook it up and in, plus a foul. Receiver screen doesn't come. Get back to Nikki. Lobs it up, knocks it down. Well, all right, Tori will take it.
Let's talk about some of the important keys to the game. If you want to start with the home team, the St. Cloud State Huskies.
So the Huskies are going to be looking for their scoring defense. It's going to be they've been allowing about 55.2 points per game, so they're leading in the NSIC right now. We have a few good point leaders in that defensive scoring, Brooke, if you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, and something that this Northern State team is going to have to look out for is the senior Nikki Kilbotton. She is having such a great season so far, and she is definitely one of the dominant ones on the court for the Huskies.
Looking at Northern State's keys to the game, they're going to go for their rebounds because they're leading currently in the NSIC with St. Cloud falling. Looks like the tip-off goes to St. Cloud. Number 10, Brianna Evans, bringing down the ball to Kilbroden. Over to the key. Back to Evans for a three. Short. Rebounded by number 41, Lauren Rogers.
Yeah, and that's something that we
Steal
talked about.
from Evans here. She's taking it all the way down for herself. Oh, let that one go. Now we have Carly Mikash for the Wolves bringing down the ball here. Passes it over to number 14, Philippi. First touch of the game here. Now we have Mikash. Oh, first two for the Wolves tonight, and that's going to be scored by Lori Rogers.
And that's something that we were talking about, I know, McKenna, before the game too, is just how good Lori Rogers is, especially how well she's doing so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, she's been a great scoring leader. And that's three for Tori Wards. Her first points on the board for St. Cloud Huskies here.
It didn't take too long to Tori Wards.
And there's a steal for Carly Peschel. Over to Erin Nawatril. Oh, and then we got a foul from the Wolves here, sending Tori Wards to the free throw line for two.
Yeah, that's something, as I was mentioning earlier, it didn't take too long for Tori Wards to get a couple of points here.
Tori Wards gets her first points of the game. She's up for a second free throw now.
This game has been pretty back and forth. You know, going into it, it's going to be a little bit interesting to see what the outcome of this game is going to be. But I think so far, in the first few minutes, it's been a pretty equal game.
Yeah, I would say the same thing there. Drives in to the lane is Oliverson. Rebounded back by the Huskies. Bringing up the ball is Evans here. She takes it all the way. Dishes out for the three. Tori Wards for a three again. She currently has all the points for the Huskies right now.
Something that you might have missed a little bit. Nikki Kilbotton had such a good play down at the other end, so that really set up Tori Wards there.
Bringing up the ball is number 14, Rihanna Philippi. She passes it back inside to Lori Rogers. Kind of tough. She literally. Rebound for Kilbon. She passes it out to Peschel, where she takes it down. Back out to the point for Brianna Evans. A three from Kelsey Peschel, short. And ball's gonna go back to the Huskies on this one.
Yeah, all these Huskies players have been playing pretty well, but I'm not surprised Tori Warts has a few points on her name so far in this game. Like I was saying earlier, she is having such a good season for the Huskies, and really all the seniors for the Huskies have been having such an incredible year this year.
Now we have the Wolves bringing back up the ball. We have Philippi bringing the ball down. She passes it out to the wing, back inside. Carly Mikash having a tough time trying to get in the lane here. The Wolves are not having a good time with their scoring at the moment.
Yeah, St. Cloud State's defense has been really good so far in the first few minutes of this game, and it's really putting a damper on Northern State's game right now.
And that's 2 points for Lori Rogers. She's currently leading for the Wolves.
And I know we were talking about it before the game too, as we mentioned before, is Lori Rogers, and that's definitely something, a player that the Huskies are going to have to look out for.
And inside wide open over to Navatril. That's her first 2 of the game. Bringing back up the ball is Philippi. She passes it over to the wing. Back to Mikash. The Wolves are having such a tough time getting it inside tonight. The defense of the Huskies is playing so outstanding right now.
And that's definitely a test to the coaching staff here. I know that's something that they work really hard on. And as you can see here, Nikki Kilbotton is doing such a great job at protecting the ball away from Northern State.
And there goes the shot clock. We have a few new Huskies checking in for the game. Number 23, Caitlin Peterson will come in, along with number 4, Morgan Draheim, and number 45, Katrina Theus. Bringing down the ball now for the Huskies is going to be Morgan Draheim. Passes it inside to Katrina Theus for her first touch of the game. Now we take it back outside to the 3-point line. Draheim for her first drive in. Back out to Peterson, where she passes it back out to Warts. Warts tough time inside. Ooh, short on that one. Rebounded by Philippi. Philippi's been bringing down the ball quite a bit for the Wolves, even though she hasn't been able to capitalize on that. And that's going to be a traveling violation on the Wolves. Possession back to the Huskies.
It's really interesting to look at. I know we've been talking about a lot of the Huskies seniors so far tonight, but I think the lineup really goes down into some of the underclassmen as well, and they've definitely been putting up some points. As you can see here, we have a lot of underclassmen on the court right now.
Taking back out the ball is Erin Novatril, back out to Morgan Draheim, and that's a 3-ball that was too long for Tori Warts. Back out to Carly Peterson, where she drives in, and she's going for the line for a 3-point conversion here. That's her first 2 points of the game. Checking in for the Huskies is Brianna Evans, and for Tori Warts. And we have another Husky checking in for her first time of the night. Tori Peschel will be coming in for Navatril. She's been doing really good tonight too on the defensive end.
Yeah, Erin Navatril is definitely a key player for the Huskies, and as we've been talking about a lot of the seniors, we've seen Nikki Kilbotton and what she can do. Brenna Evans is out there right now, and they're looking really good here tonight.
I think so too, and right now the Huskies are on a scoring run. They've been really dominant on their offensive end. Bringing back up the ball here is Philippi. She's not been able to get through that defense. Back out to the wing for the Wolves. She takes it up top. Kaylee Olverson, who's been a key leading component for scoring for them. And now there's going to be an offensive foul coming against the Wolves. So possession will go back to the Huskies, and we have a timeout for the Wolves here. I think this scoring run for the Huskies has been pretty dominant, especially their defense has been capitalizing on not letting the Wolves score any.
Yeah, and the Huskies, if you look back historically, they play really well against the Wolves. It's a team that they have been able to beat in the past. The last time that they played each other in December, they also won that game. So It's going to be a little bit of an interesting night. I know McKenna and we were talking about it earlier that this could be a pretty equal game, and I think it started off a little bit more equally than it has been right now. The Huskies have been very dominant, and they've been possessing the ball a lot, but I think all of these players up and down the lineup have been playing well so far tonight.
And personally, I'm really impressed by Brianna Evans. She started out so hot. She had the first 6 points of the game. She wasn't even able to be stopped, especially capitalizing on that 3-point play she had.
Yeah, and that's something that's not surprising. Brenna Evans is such a key player in this St. Cloud State lineup. So her coming out hot tonight and scoring a few points, that is something that does not surprise me at all.
And another great thing to look out for is the Huskies rebounding. I know that the Wolves are #1 in the NSIC, but the Huskies are right behind there.
Yeah, and if we look here, Tori Wards, in the last matchup, she had 17 points. So that she's definitely someone to look out for tonight. I know we've been talking about her a little bit, and she has been out on the court here a little bit, but I think she has been playing a pretty good game.
And that was a great block by a new player on the Wolves team that came in, Lori Rogers. And we have new, fresh feet coming off the bench for the Wolves. Bringing up the ball is Tellis. Tries for a 3-ball, that was long. Great rebound by the Huskies. Taking back up the ball is Evans to a 3 for Wart. Long. She takes it back out to the top. Evans brings it inside to Katrina Theus. Back out to Caitlin Peterson. We have Evans again. And there's a foul coming up against, looks like the Wolves. Checking back into the game is Kilbon. She's been really dominant with scoring too as well.
Yeah, and her defense tonight so far has been incredible. She's giving Northern State a very hard time.
I agree to that. She gets her first touch of this, takes 2 points for Kilbon from the point. Bringing up the ball for the Wolves is Abby Holmes. This is her first time in for the night too. They're having such a tough time entering the ball. I don't think that they've got it inside of too many times.
No, they haven't. Like we said earlier, the St. Cloud State has been dominating in this game.
And the ball's going to be knocked out by the Huskies. Possession's going to go back to the Wolves. Yeah, I don't think that the Wolves have had any entry passes inside. I think it's all been an outside playing game. They haven't had very many scoring looks, which is pretty good for the St. Cloud Huskies defense.
Yeah, that is good for the defense. And as you were saying, they've had a difficult time entering the zone. And I think that St. Cloud State has made sure that they have a hard time entering the zone, and they've been having possession of the ball almost the whole game so far.
So that was the first foul on Kilbon, and to the line will be Lori Rogers. We have some familiar faces checking back into the game for the Husky. Tori Warts and Erin Navatra. At the free throw line is Lori Rogers, looking to get on the board. She makes her first one. So far, Lori Rogers has all the points for the Wolves, and that will be her 6th point, and she currently has all of their points, so she's a good one to look for.
Yeah, and Lori Rogers is also the first in rebounds with about 7.7 per game, so that is something else to look out for. I know we were talking about how Northern State is leading the NSIC in rebounds, and definitely Lori Rogers is a big part of that.
Back up the court is Philippi looking for, pass was long to number 20, Rachel Garvey. Possession will go back to the Huskies. Taking up the ball is going to be Morgan Draheim. I think the Huskies have been on such a great scoring run too. I mean, especially Tori Warts. She's put up so many points today.
Yeah, she has been off to a great start in this game, and it looks like
There she is again with a 3-ball too.
Looks like State is starting to pick up here a little bit. I think they started off hot and kind of simmered down a little bit, but it looks like they're starting to pick back up.
And this is going to be the Wolves' second timeout of the first half. Honestly, the Huskies have had such a great scoring run. I mean, only one person for Northern State has been able to put up any points tonight, and the Huskies have been really good about passing the ball around, getting inside, getting good looks, and letting everyone have a scoring chance.
And before the game when we were talking, I know we were talking about the fact that this lineup is just jam-packed for the Huskies. They have so many top scorers on this team, and I definitely think that that is showing tonight.
I agree, and I am excited to see what the new fresh legs we have out here for the Huskies are going to do. I mean, obviously Tori Warts is leading right now with 9 points. She has half of the points for the Huskies. She's been very dominant in her offensive play, along with defensive. She so far has 2 steals.
Yeah, and Tori Warts, we've been talking about how many points she's put up so far in this game. She's actually leading the team in points per game, averaging with 14, so she's already off to a really good start.
Getting the ball is Philippi up the court. We'll see if she'll be able to get it inside here for a good scoring chance with 2 minutes left to play. She's having a difficult time finding an open guard. A 3 ball is up long, rebounded by the Wolves. And we have a foul call against Tori Warts. That's going to be her first of the night. So possession will go back to the Wolves.
Yeah, and if you could see out here earlier, Nikki Kilbotton, she is doing such a great job of defending the zone and not allowing for much passing room for Northern State.
Getting the ball is Lori Rogers. Back up to Philippi at the point. Good look inside, back to Rogers, and she'll go up for 2, and that would be good. Now she has 8 points, the only points for the Wolves tonight. She's been doing amazing with her offensive rebounds as well.
Yeah, some of these other Northern State players, they usually have been putting up a lot of points per game, but St. Cloud State has been doing a really good job of keeping the scoring for them to a minimum, especially with only one player being able to score.
That was a 3 put up by Tori Warts. That was long, rebounded by the Wolves, taking it back up the court. Passes out to Bryn Alefson. That's her first touch of the game. Back into Rogers for 2 again. Long. Picked up by the Huskies, taking down the ball. Morgan Draheim. She looks inside to Kilbotton, where she takes it up. She was blocked on the shot by Rogers. Now bringing up the ball for the Wolves is going to be Rachel Garvey. She gets it back out to Philippi. Philippi gets it out to Johnson. They're having such a difficult time getting it in. Lori Rogers gets it in. And that's a block by Kilbotton. Wow, her defensive play is so good.
Yeah, Kilbotton is leading the team in blocks per game, and that was just such a good play to make sure and to take away that scoring opportunity for the Wolves.
Checking in for the game is going to be Katrina Theus. Ball back out to Rogers. Takes it in is Rachel Garvey, and that will be an offensive foul against. That's going to be the 5th team foul for the Wolves in the first half. Checking back into the game is going to be Caitlin Peterson. She's going to give Morgan Draheim a break. She's been really dominant in bringing up the ball for the Huskies as well.
Yeah, she definitely has, and I think that the players for the Huskies so far tonight, they've done a really good job of playing pretty evenly, and I think that's something that's important because it shows how well-rounded this team really is.
And I just love the way that they pass the ball around. They get everyone touches and looks inside. That pass from the inside is going to be long to Tori Warts.
You were saying that the Huskies have been doing a good job of passing, and I think that's something that the Wolves are struggling with here tonight. They're kind of keeping it in a smaller inside circle, and they're not really going out to the edges like the Huskies have been. And I think if they start opening it up a little bit more, that could start creating some more scoring opportunities for them.
I agree. The Huskies' defense is very tight, not allowing not allowing the Wolves to get any inside looks. I mean, Lori Rogers has been pretty lucky with her scoring that she's been up to.
Yeah, and Lori Rogers is such a critical player for the Wolves here. Like I was saying earlier, she's first in rebounds with almost 8 per game, and then we have Philippi averaging quite a lot of points per game, so it'll be interesting to see if she's going to start getting out there more.
Yeah, and Philippi has been bringing up the ball, but you know, she can't get it inside. She can't even get around any of the defenders because they're playing them so tight.
And we were talking that there's about 3 key consistent players for the Wolves, but really the only one that we've been able to see tonight is Rogers. So I wonder if this little break, if they're going to regather their thoughts and come out here and start passing to more of the team and hopefully opening up their scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I would like to see some of the other Wolves players get some touches. I mean, it seems like it's the same few people bringing up the ball, passing it out, and just letting the ball go, throwing it out of bounds or throwing it away entirely.
And that could have been one of the Huskies' discussions before coming in here, is making the passing to keeping the passing to a minimum and not allowing them very much room. I think that could have been a huge part of this conversation going into this game, especially because usually these two teams have a pretty even matchup, and the Huskies, they know how this team plays.
And the Huskies defense, like we talk about again, they've been doing so well, not letting in any entry passes into the Wolves, and it's really capitalized on showing that they haven't let a lot of points go.
Yeah, and the Huskies have the top scoring defense in the NSIC, so having someone like a key player like Nikki Kilbotton, that has done so many amazing things for this Huskies team. And as we were mentioning earlier, she's a senior this year, and I believe she's having quite a breakout season so far in her senior year. She's done well in her previous seasons, but I think this year her name has really gotten out there a lot more.
Having the ball right now is Tori Evans. She kicks it back out to Tori Warts, where she puts it inside to Katrina Tias, where she puts up for 2, and it will be rebounded by Caitlin Peterson, and there'll be a foul call against the Wolves. That's going to be Haley Johnson's first personal foul. Passes out, gets it back inside for Katrina Teese, and she's up for 2, is short, rebounded by the Wolves. Taking up the ball now is Rachel Garvey. We'll see if the Wolves are going to be able to get it in for a basket this time.
Yeah, the Huskies have been doing a really good job, and Katrina Tice is a little bit of a younger player, but she has been playing a very key part of this game here tonight.
Brianna Evans will go up for 2, and it's going to be rebounded by Katrina Teese, and that will be her first 2 of the night. See, that Huskies offense has just been amazing with the rebounds as well, not only on the defensive end, but I love the rebounds on the offensive end.
Yeah, I think that's something that's going really well for them tonight, and I think both of these teams here have been doing a great job at what they're usually good at.
And that's going to be a steal for Caitlin Peterson. Bringing back up the ball is Brenna Evans. She keeps it at the point. Back out to Tori Warts. Tori Warts has the ball again, looking to get it inside here. Navatril getting 2. That's her first 2 of the night too. I like when she gets a few touches as well.
Yeah, Erin Navatril is a really all-around good player for the Huskies, and although she hasn't had many points here tonight, she has been doing some little things that might go unnoticed to help her team out.
And that drive will cut the scoring for the Huskies. That would be 2 points from Johnson. That's her first 2 on the board. Taking back up the ball is Brenna Evans. She takes it back out to the point to Tori Warts, setting up a nice screen. Kelsey Peschel back into Katrina Teese, and that she's going to be blocked on that one, getting the offensive rebound, and the shot clock will go there. Checking back in for the Huskies is going to be Kilbon for Teese. You know, this Huskies defense has been making it a really hard time for the Wolves to get any scoring looks.
Yeah, and we were mentioning it earlier, as they started off pretty consistent in the first couple of minutes and then kind of simmered down a little bit. And it looks like they are starting to heat up here a little bit, but as you were saying, the defense on this Huskies team is doing a really good job of keeping their scoring and their scoring chances to a minimum.
And that was going to be the first personal foul on Brenna Evans, and she's going to be taken out and replaced by Morgan Draheim. The Wolves have the ball now with Kaylee Overson trying to get a look inside. It's been such a tough time getting those inside looks to those guards. And it's going to be 2 for Mikash. That's going to be her first 2 points of the game for the Wolves. The score is 20-14. The Wolves are making their way back up with their looks inside that they've been getting.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that it isn't just Rogers putting up points. It's been some new players, and I think that's definitely going to help out this Wolves team is if they start spreading the scoring all over the score sheet.
And that's going to be another 3-ball for Tori Wart. She's been so solid on the offensive end. That's going to put her at 12 points in this half.
Yeah, Tori Wart has been playing really well here tonight, and we were talking about how this team is full of people that are very capable of scoring, and Tori Wart does have 12 points, and behind her is Erin Navatrol with 4 and Caitlin Peterson with 3. So looking at the rest of this game here, it'll be interesting to see what the score sheet looks like, especially after these players are starting to get some more points.
That rebound is going to be picked up back by the Wolves. Taking down the ball is Carly Mikash. She's looking to get an inside pass, and she's having a tough time. She gets it over to Rogers. Back out to Philippi with the open lane, and she's up for 2. Gets fouled on the play by Nikki Kilbon. That's going to be her first personal tonight as well. Looking to get the 3-point play. Looks like we have a timeout here, and Huskies are doing dominant in their scoring, but I think the Wolves are coming back. They have a few new players. They're letting up on their defense a little bit. I think that getting these new fresh feet off the bench are really going to help them for the rest of this half.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you guys can hear at home, but Hollenbeck right now is very loud, and I think that is hyping up the Huskies a lot. We have a lot of fans in the stands. We have the band. And everyone seems to be having such a great time here tonight. And I think that's definitely helping the Huskies maintain their lead with how excited this crowd here is.
And I think that's really important for them, too, to have the fans building up the adrenaline for both teams as well. But for the Huskies, especially with their scoring chances and their defensive play that they've been having, they've been capitalizing a lot on the adrenaline here in Hollenbeck tonight.
Yeah, and speaking with a lot of the athletes here at St. Cloud State, it is so nice for them to have fans back in their arenas, whether it be at the Hockey Center or here in Hollenbeck Hall, where they host most of the sports here on campus. And having fans back definitely changes the dynamic, and that's something that all these athletes here look forward to, is being at home and having these fans cheering for them, and also being on the road with, I feel like that builds up the competition a little bit, is, you know, having other teams' home fans cheer them on, and I think that helps them because they're going to want to shoot them down.
Coming back to the line is Philippi. She's going to see if she can capitalize on that 3-point play here. And her free throw is going to be long. Back out to the Huskies for Kelsey Peschel. She gets it inside to Navatril. Back out to Caitlin Peterson, up for 2, and that's going to be rebounded by the Wolves, taken back down by Philippi. She's going to try to take it inside for herself. Back out to Rogers. Mikash on the corner, looking to get it inside back to Rogers. She takes a look in, and she is fouled on the play by Kelsey Peschel, and that's going to be Kelsey Peschel's first foul of the night. I think it's been pretty important for the Huskies to play defensively, but also not getting any of those petty fouls that they've been getting.
Yeah, that's something that's going to be important, especially looking at the rest of this game. And with the Wolves picking up, you know, we started off with them with the scoring to a minimum, and now they're just a few points away from taking the Huskies lead. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they have opened up their game so much. If you're looking, you see a lot of players on the edges, and they've been able to pass around and kind of scoot through the Huskies there into the middle and be able to make those baskets.
The ball is going to be knocked out of play by the Huskies, and possession is going to go to the Wolves. Takes it in is Tellis, up for two, rebounded back by the Huskies. Taking down the ball is Kelsey Peschel. She looks to bring it out to the side to Navatro. Back into Tias. Back into Tias. And then that's a three ball for Erin Navatro, and that's going to be long. Rebounded by the Wolves. Back out to Mikash. She tries to take it in. She kicks it out for a three ball. That's going to be long. Rebounded again by Peschel. Bringing down the ball. She looks to take it herself. Back out to Morgan Draheim. Back to Peschel. She looks to bring it in. Back out to Caitlin Peterson. Navatro brings it in. Back out to Draheim. Draheim for two. Good. That's a great play that the Huskies just made there. And I think it's important that all of the players got a look on that one.
Yeah, that was a great setup that included a lot of passing. And if you look at Erin Navatro, she's been adding up a decent amount of time here tonight. And she's definitely one of those players that does end games with a lot of time played. And she has been playing very well here tonight.
I totally agree, and I think her offensive scoring is going to capitalize that too. That's going to be a three that's good for Erin Navatro, and we were just talking about her. And that's her 7th point of the game.
I think both of these teams are starting to pass the scoring around a little bit. We started off with just two players really putting up most of the points, and now it's spread a little bit more evenly around the scorecard. You know, Tori Wartz has 12 points, and Erin Navatro's not too far back with 7. And then now looking at the Wolves, Lori Rogers, she has 8, but Philippi has 4 points, and Haley Johnson has 2. And then obviously Lori Rogers is leading with 8 points.
And that's going to be a shot clock violation for the Wolves. Like we say again, the Huskies defense is just doing so well tonight.
And that's something that they definitely practice before these games and they go into these games knowing what kind of players they have. And when you have a player that's as good as Lori Rogers is, that's someone that you definitely have to watch out for. And that was definitely one of the biggest things going into this game.
Brenna Evans is going to check back in for the Huskies, setting up a screen from Tias. Back to Brenna Evans, and that's going to be 2 more for her, making that her first 2 of the game. You know, she's been doing so well leading their offense, even though that might be her first 2 points. She's created so many other plays for anyone else on the court.
Yeah, and that's definitely something, I know we touched on it a little bit, is just how well the Huskies have been doing at making sure that everyone gets a touch on the ball. So it's the little things that I feel like people don't necessarily take into account when you don't see a lot of points.
And Philippi's going to go for a long 3. And back up the court on the transition is Tori Wartz looking for a jumper, and that's good. That's her 14th point of the night. We're going to have a timeout here by the Wolves, and I just can't believe that scoring run that the Huskies are going on now. I mean, 32-16 now with a minute left.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't feel like either of these teams have been playing too consistently here tonight. You know, it started off with a lot of scoring, and then it simmered down a little bit, and now we're back with a lot of scoring. And you know, the Wolves were catching up to the Huskies, but now the Huskies have taken the lead by a significant amount of points. And I think looking at the rest of this game, it is going to be super consistent. If either one of these teams wants to win tonight, they need to play more consistently.
And I agree with that. I mean, I like seeing all of the Huskies players getting a touch for scoring chances. I mean, if the points don't add up, I mean, it's the assists from each player. I mean, even Brenna Evans coming in, and that's getting her first 2 points there. She's been unreal setting up any other plays for any of the players.
And Brenna Evans is having an incredible season so far this year, and she's definitely been helping out a lot of her teammates, and I think she's definitely someone that a lot of the underclassmen look up to.
Bringing it out for the Wolves is going to be Rogers. She kicks it to Philippi, trying to get it inside to Oliverson. Oliverson goes up, and it's going to be picked up by Teese. Back out in transition for the Huskies is going to be Tori Warts. She kicks it back out to Peschel. That's a steal for Philippi, all the way. And that's going to be taken by Kelsey Peschel. What a play. And there's going to be an offensive foul coming up against Philippi, so possession is going to go back to the Huskies. And I just can't believe this Huskies defense. I mean, we keep talking about it, but honestly, that's what's getting them through this first half here.
Yeah, and the defense is just so good. I know it gets a little bit repetitive when we're continuing to talk about something, but with just how good this Huskies defense is, it's really hard not to talk about it.
And they have an amazing record for their with scoring defense, leading the NSIC. I think it's really important for them to get their scoring from those rebounds in the transition game.
Yeah, and I know a key part of this defense is Nikki Kilbotton, and she's ranking in the top 15 in the NSIC conference in multiple different categories, and that just shows how good of an all-around player Kilbotton is. But specifically tonight, we've been seeing her put up a lot of blocks, a lot of rebounds, and that's something that's definitely helping the Huskies with their lead.
Philippi was trying to bring it down there all the way, but possession is going to go back to the Wolves as it went off the foot of a Huskies player. And there's 0.9 seconds left. Taking out the ball for the Wolves is going to be Haley Johnson. We'll see if they can capitalize off of this. And looks like that shot was long by Kaylee Overson. And that's going to finish off the second half.
Yeah, and Lori Rogers, how long do you think she was out there? She was out there for so long, and she was putting up a lot of points for the Wolves. But that's something that might be tiring them out a little bit and not allowing them to do as well as they normally would. Just with the amount of time that those key players are spending out there, if you look at the Huskies, they've been rotating pretty consistently, and they've been getting a lot of different people out there, and all of those people have been putting up points. And now with us,
That's what we need. All right, thank you for your time and good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Colin back. Colin, McKenna, what do you think some of the top plays have been from the night?
So in the first quarter, I saw Caitlin Peterson had a great drive to the lane where she got fouled and made her free throw, and that was a three-point play for her, getting her first few points of the game.
Yeah, and that made the Huskies go up 11-4, and that was something really exciting for the Huskies here.
And then in the second quarter, we see the Huskies leading 24-14, where Tori Wart hits a great three from the top of the key, puts the Huskies at a 23-14 lead. I think she's been so dominant for the scoring of the Huskies.
Yeah, and the Huskies, they lead 25-16, great ball movement, and the Huskies were then leading 28-16, and that's something they've been leading during most of the game here. And now if we look at the stats, Northern State is at 16 points, SCSU has 32. Field goals is 13-32 for SCSU and 7-22 for Northern State. Field goal percentage is 40.6. And now we're jumping back over into gameplay, and McKenna, if you want to take it over from here.
So checking in the ball is going to be Kelsey Peschel, and it looks like we have the same guard coming back into play, Brenna Evans. She's been so solid getting entry passes into the rest of her Huskies players.
Yeah, and if we talk about Brenna Evans, she played 14 minutes and 32 seconds in that last half, which is a lot of time so far for just being with half a game left here.
And I think that she's going to just put in more time for the rest of the game because she's been so dominant in all of the Huskies scoring tonight.
Yeah, and they have most of the players that have been out here tonight have been playing over 10 minutes, which is something that's really good for the Huskies. And we were talking about it before the break, is that this team has been consistent and they have scoring all over the lineup, and I think that really shows with how much time all of these players are spending out on the court.
And back in is going to be the Wolves. Philippi puts up a three that's going to be long. Rebounded again by the Wolves. Up for two was Kaylee Olverson. Bringing back up the ball for the Huskies is going to be Evans. She looks inside to Tori Wards where she puts up two. That's going to be rebounded by Rogers. Taking it back up for the Wolves is going to be Tellis. She looks to get it inside to one of her teammates where she's having such a difficult time with that Huskies defense.
And before the break, we were talking about just how much time Lori Rogers has spent on the court tonight. And so far, it has been a full 20 minutes. And that is really showing why she's putting up so many points, and she's a leading scorer for the Wolves right now tonight.
And there we just saw her again get another basket inside, and that's up to 10 for her. Looks like the Wolves came out very fast the second half. That one's going to be knocked out by the Huskies, and possession's going back to the Wolves. Possession back to the Huskies here. Looks to get inside Tori Wart's quick shot up. It's going to be rebounded by Rogers. Taking back up by Philippi. This transition for the Wolves has been so hot this second half.
And we were talking about it before the break, is that I feel like neither team has been playing the most consistent game tonight. It's really been back and forth, and like we were talking about before, it's really going to be whoever starts playing the most consistent. I think that's who's going to take home the W tier tonight. I know St. Cloud is in the lead right now, but as you were saying, the Wolves have really started to heat up here in the second, and that little break that they had really could be the turning point. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this game plays out.
And that's going to be a second personal foul by Kelsey Peschel, sending Rogers back to the line. And she's been so dominant in scoring. I know she has averaging 20 points this game, or 20 minutes this game.
Yeah, and if you look at St. Cloud State, the closest in time to Lori Rogers is Erin Navatro with just about 18 minutes. And then after that, it's Tori Warts and Brenna Evans. But if you're looking at Northern State, Lori Rogers has that full 20 minutes, and then it's Haley Johnson with just about 18 minutes. So there's only, it looks like 3-4 players that have been up there in time for the Wolves versus St. Cloud State. They've had a few, most of their lineup has over 10 minutes.
And Tori Warts is going to put up another three, and that's going to put her at 17 points. She's come out so hot this second half.
Yeah, she really has, and that's going to be critical here tonight.
Bringing back up the ball for the Wolves is going to be Tellis. She kicks it out to Philippi, back into Rogers, back to Philippi, and that's two. What a great play we had there. Evans is bringing back up the ball for the Huskies. Looks like the Wolves have switched up their defense a little bit, playing a little tighter, and I think it's really helped them this second half here.
That's something that I noticed in the last half, is that St. Cloud State was playing a very open game, but they weren't allowing movement from the Wolves. So I think, like you said, having a different setup is going to help with these chances, and I think it's going to slow down the Huskies scoring.
And that was another defensive rebound by the Wolves, and that's another thing we talked about in the beginning, their defense leading the NSIC. I mean, offensive rebounding and defensive, they've been pretty well with that, and I think that most of their scoring chances have been off of offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and both of these teams are head-to-head in their rebounds, and as we've seen here tonight, both of the teams have been putting up a lot of rebounds. And
we have a few fresh feet checking in for the Huskies. Caitlin Peterson, Tice, and Morgan Draheim, giving some of those few top scoring leaders a break here. I think that's really important for the Huskies.
Yeah, it's going to be important to see what these other players can do now that they're out there. I know if we're looking at points, it's been mostly Tori Wartz and Erin Navotro putting up the points, but they started adding some more pieces in and allowing them to play some more time, especially with this lead. So if these other people can start putting up some points, I think that's really going to help benefit the Huskies.
And jump ball here, possession is going to go back to the Huskies. What a great drive by Tori Wartz. I mean, she, with her 17 points, she's even looking for people outside all the time, but she can take it on her own most of the time as well, which is so great to see.
Yeah, and we were talking about it before too, is that the Huskies have been doing a great job at passing the ball, but like you were saying, it is important to know when that is going to be something that's necessary is to pass the ball, or when they can take it in themselves, and which is going to create the better outcome. And I think that's something that Wartz is very good at, is being able to see past just, a few steps and seeing which is going to benefit her and her team more.
And that was 2 points for Johnson. That's going to be her 4th of the game. And that pass was long by Brenna Evans, and possession is going to go back to the Wolves. The Wolves this second half scoring has outscored the Huskies, and it's really capitalizing, I think, again, like we say, on their defensive rebounding.
Yeah, the Wolves have really started to heat up. When we, looking back at the last half, the Huskies were leading for just about 19 minutes, but now they haven't really allowed much from the Huskies so far, and it'll be interesting to see if they're able to turn around and catch up.
And I think the other big thing for the Huskies that they need to focus on here is their turnovers. 14 turnovers in the first half. I don't think that was something that benefited them anymore.
Yeah, that was just giving opportunities to the other team, basically. And it's going to be important to keep their play. Their play, they can't have a sloppy play, and I feel like we've been seeing that a little bit more in this second half, and having those turnovers and making small mistakes. And at the end of the day, those small mistakes might be what separates the winner from the loser in tonight's game.
Checking in for the Huskies is Tori Peschel. Drives in by Tyson. She is fouled on the play. She'll be sent to the line for 2. What a good play there. Like we said before, passing the ball around for the Huskies has been giving everyone looks. I mean, the scoring is so spread out between everyone. You can't just pick one player.
It looks like there's been a timeout called, and that's going to be important. This might reset the play here a little bit. The Wolves are starting to catch up. The score right now is 37-26, and it was the scoring was a lot more separated when we started here, and now they're starting to catch up. So the Huskies are going to have to watch out.
And I think with the Huskies' new fresh feet, it might help them give a different transition game for them. And I think that the defense of Northern State is going to be what separates this game as well here. I mean, scoring is obviously comes from the defensive play. I mean, offense is made by defense, and I think that's really important for the Wolves, especially with how they lead
Yeah, and if you're looking here, Katrina Tice, she really is able to open things up and help the Huskies get some more points. And Northern State, they just were not able to take the ball and protect how they wish they could have. But again, that's more points on the board for the Huskies.
And coming back from the break, we see that Tice is back at the line, trying to capitalize on a three-point play here. You know, she's been so solid offensively, even getting it back out to her guards. I think it's really important for her to get touches inside.
Yeah, for sure, and I know that we've been stressing that a lot, is having ball movement, and you know, both teams have been doing pretty good now looking at this next half, but it looks like the Wolves have been opening up their play a little bit more.
And I think the Huskies defense has been doing so well, but I think that they've leaned back a little bit in this second half. Bringing back up the ball is Evans. She gets it out to Warts, to Tori Peschel, back to Peterson on the point, trying to get a look inside. Tori Peschel trying to get around the defenders. Back to Tice. She looks to get it in, and she's fouled on the play. And that's going to be the Wolves' third foul of this third quarter. And I think that that's another thing that they need to focus on in the second half is their fouls. I think that sending the Huskies to the line isn't going to benefit their play at any point.
Yeah, and this is something that it looks like the Wolves are getting upset over, and they've been taking a lot of fouls, which hasn't been benefiting them. So they're going to, on one hand, the Huskies are going to have to reduce their turnovers, but I think the Wolves are going to have to reduce their fouls.
And checking back into the game is Tori Warts for Brianna Evans, giving her a break. And that's going to be a steal from the Wolves. Going up for two, and that is long. It's going to be a foul for the Huskies. That's their second of the quarter. At the free throw line for the Wolves is going to be Brianna Elofsson. She makes her first one, and that's going to be her first of the game as well. I think this lead is just diminishing for the Huskies here, as this Wolves defense has just been so solid in this second half. They really changed pace from the first half, I think.
Yeah, and we were talking about it in the first half, is that these two teams play pretty consistently together against each other, and I think it's really going to go down into the final minutes. We've been seeing that it's been a very back and forth game where the Huskies will come out on top and start scoring a lot of points, and on the other hand, the Wolves have been doing the same. So right now the Wolves scoring some points, and they're getting back up there, and they're not too far away from the Huskies.
And that was 3 Husky offensive rebounds, and back a steal again from Morgan Draheim after she just made that beautiful offensive rebound and play off of that. Caitlin Peterson takes the ball back out to Warts, looking to get it back inside. Warts will take it in herself, back out on the point. She gets it over to Peschel, back to Draheim. A 3-ball from, and that is going to be a foul for the Wolves. That's going to be their 4th of this quarter. We have some fresh legs coming in for them, for the Huskies and the Wolves as well.
And it looks like we might have
gets the ball back into Warts, and that's going to be rebounded by the Wolves, kicking it back out to Philippi. She's been very dominant in the Wolves offense as well. Mikash has the ball, trying to get it inside for Tellis. Tellis's shot was long, and that will go out to the Huskies. Back to Warts in transition, and she will be blocked on that shot. Rebounded. The pace of this game has picked up so much from the first half. It's incredible to see that the change in both teams, and now the scoring is getting a little more tight.
Yeah, and Tori Wirtz, what a great play that she just had at the other end of the court. She was defending her player so well and really not allowing them to create any scoring opportunities.
And that's going to be 2 more points for Mikash for the Wolves. Huskies still up 40-29. And that play is going to be thrown out of bounds by the Huskies. Possession given back to the Wolves. Like we were talking about before, the turnovers for the Huskies has not been helping them in any way, and I think that it's important to have solid touches on each end of the court for them.
Yeah, and that's something that they're going to have to improve on, is just how many turnovers that they're allowing. That's not benefiting them, and it's only creating more scoring opportunities here for the opposing team, and they want to keep their score as low as possible because they are catching up here a little bit, so making sure that those turnovers reduce is really going to help with the Huskies maintaining this lead.
And that defensive rebound from Tellis was just amazing. And now we have a steal from Philippi. She takes it all the way down, wide open for 2. And this scoring lead for the Huskies is just diminishing.
And they've had a lot of great chances there with a little bit of a breakout play. That's something that we were talking about in the first half of the game, is that the Huskies were really making sure that the Wolves were kind of stuck. And now the Wolves are making it a lot easier for themselves to open up the game and allowing those breakaway plays to start putting up some more points.
And there was Tori Wirtz again, getting it outside from Tori Peschel, and that was just an amazing play too. She works inside and outside every time. And Philippi takes it in almost all the way. Rebound from Tellis. Her last 2 offensive rebounds has just been so crucial to this lead that the Huskies have this half.
Yeah, and they're only 7 points from catching up to the Huskies, and at the rate that they're playing, I don't know how hard that's going to be for them. They've really came out in this half on fire, and the lead is starting to go down, and it looks like they have another breakout play again, and the Huskies...
Back to Tellis. She gets it again. Back out to Philippi. Philippi is going to take a break. Well, there's 16 seconds left on the clock. The shot clock and the score clock are just about the same. She's going to try to get one good last shot off this, and she's going to take it all the way, and that's going to be a offensive foul on Philippi. The possession will go back to the Huskies, and that's going to be their 5th team foul. We have a few more Huskies checking in for this last 6 seconds of this quarter. Back in is Brenna Evans, and I feel like she's just going to get a great play to end this half here, especially with her play.
Yeah, I think so, and I think the Huskies are looking for, a little bit of a highlight play like the Wolves have had a few of late in this half. So I think, like you said, Brenna Evans is going to come out here and hopefully put up some points in the last few seconds.
And there's Wirtz for 3! Oh, what a great way to end the second half. And that gives the Huskies a 10-point lead going into this 4th quarter here. Look at that. Brenna Evans just gets it back to Wirtz, and it was just drainage from there.
And that's a player that they put in when they need some scoring to happen. Like we were talking about, the Wolves have been catching up here a little bit, and they need a consistent player to go in and be able to put up some points in the final seconds.
And I think those 2 guards, Wirtz and Evans, just work so well together. I mean, we don't see them on the court as much together, but honestly, if one of them's out there, they're always in on every scoring chance that the Huskies have, and even seeing one of them pass to another for a great 3-point play. I mean, it's just awesome to see what they can do as together, not only by themselves.
And I feel like they've both been just in the right place at the right time here tonight. She was on the outside a little bit, but that was such a great scoring opportunity for her. The court was right open for her to be able to make that shot, and lucky for the Huskies, it was able to go in. And now they're going into the last few minutes of this game with a 10-point lead, like you said. So they're going to have to keep the scoring from the Wolves at a minimum and lessen their turnovers.
And I think it's going to be really important for the Wolves to come out in this last 10 minutes really hot with their defense. I mean, so far their defensive play has been awesome with their rebounding, but I think that if they get that on the offensive side as well, I think that will help their game a little bit here in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, that's something the Huskies are going to have to look out for as well. with the Wolves starting to heat up, they're going to have to maybe switch around how they're protecting their players a little bit, because they've allowed the Wolves to come in and have a very open court, and I think that's really just hurting the Huskies.
Back with the ball is Tori Warts. Back to Evans, back to Warts. She takes a look inside, trying to get into Tice. She does here, and Tice is gonna go up, kicking it out. Back to Caitlin Peterson. Back out for the 3 ball, and that is good. What a good way to start that 3rd quarter. I think that's gonna capitalize on the rest of their play this quarter here.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about Tice, she is not afraid to be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more physical with the ball there. She was protecting her players so well, and she really opened up the court for the rest of her team.
And we're gonna have a foul on the Huskies. That's gonna be their first foul of this 3rd quarter, or this 4th quarter here. And it looks like that's gonna be Erin Navatro's first foul. And I just can't get over that great play by Tice. I mean, she works so well on the inside, but she can even get it from the outside too.
Yeah, and I think she honestly, looking at tonight's game, she's one of the key players. I know she hasn't been putting up as many points as some of the other people like Tori Warts, but as we were saying about a few of the other players, it's really the small things that she has been doing to help her team, and has definitely been a help in maintaining this 48-36 lead that the Huskies have with just about 9 minutes left.
And Tellis will make her 2 free throws, and it's going to be back out to Evans. It looks like the Wolves defense is getting a little bit tighter, but that one was just thrown away by Brenna Evans. With that pressure that the Wolves put on in this 4th quarter is going to be really crucial for their play.
Yeah, and the Wolves, we started out just talking about Lori Rogers, but Tellis has been heating up here, getting late into this game, and at this point she seems to be unstoppable. She's been the one putting up the most points as of late, and let's see if she can do it again right now.
And she takes it in, and she's up for 2, and that one was short. Back to Brenna Evans, and Brenna Evans is gonna look to get it inside to Tice. Tice kicks it back out, and that's gonna be a short 3 ball there. Back out to Evans, and that's gonna be off of the Wolves. Position is gonna go back to the Huskies. And it looks like we have some new feet coming in for the Wolves with Rachel Garvey. Checking in the ball is Brenna Evans, and Brenna Evans-Tori Warts combo is just looking so good right now, and I think it's really crucial this last 8 minutes to have those 2 out there together.
Yeah, and Tori Warts is up to 22 points in tonight's game, and that's definitely been a huge reason the Huskies are up by so many points. It looks like they're up by 11, and you know, we've been talking about this back and forth game, and it looks like it's happening again. You know, the Wolves were on fire for a little bit, and now it's being switched over. And now if you're taking a look at this replay, Katrina Tice, what a good play, but she was just set up really well by her teammates. And if you're looking back out, it's Tice again.
And she misses her first free throw there. Yeah, she's had some great looks inside, outside, everywhere around. I mean, even getting fouled and getting to the free throw line is really going to help her. And her second free throw is good. And that's going to give the Huskies a 12-point lead here with 8 minutes left to play. Bringing up the ball here is Haley Johnson. She kicks it back out to Philippi. Philippi just seems to be having the ball at the top of the key, trying to get in there almost every time the Wolves bring down the ball. And there's Philippi again, trying to get something to work. Back out to Tellis. Tellis takes it in, looking for 2, and that one is rebounded by Evans.
Yeah, Tellis is just such a speedy player. I feel like she's the one always leading the charge, and you know, even when she's trying to get around the Huskies to hopefully be able to make a basket, she just knows how to move in a way that the Huskies just cannot keep up, and they can't protect her, and she's just creating a lot of space for the Wolves.
And there was Tice again that got fouled by Lori Rogers. You know, Lori Rogers this 4th quarter, she has been so well on the defensive end, but I think that especially this foul that we see here, I mean, this is the second time this has happened, both times down the court, and I think that she's going to be taken out here now to give a break while Tice is at the line.
Yeah, and Lori Rogers, she's very tall too, so it's not too hard for her to be able to block those shots, but it's going to be important for her to not take as many fouls.
And that Rogers-Tice matchup is really brutal down there. I mean, they've been getting after it, both of them, to each other.
Yeah, I feel like they're both more of the aggressor type players, and they're not afraid to get a little bit more dirty. And I think with two of them going head to head, it's, I don't know, probably not going to end up the best.
And Tice is going to make both of those, and that puts her scoring at 8. Still leading for the Huskies is Tori Wartz with 22 points. Tellis has the ball here, back to Garvey. Kicks it out to the point, taking from the top. Trying to get it inside, and they just can't with this defense. And here's Tellis again, over, and that one is short. And that's going to be rebounded by Erin Navatril. And here is Brenna Evans again. And they're going to call that one an offensive foul, and that is not going to be looking good for the Huskies. That's the Huskies' second personal foul of this fourth quarter.
That was something that head coach of the team, Lori Fish, did not look too happy with, but you know what? It's something that you have to consider is when some of those things that you're not happy with happen, it can kind of drive you to do better in this game, and that might happen, but it looks like the Wolves are going to have another breakout play again. The court is very open for them right now. There's many different ways that they can go to hopefully put up some points.
And look at that block by Tice. I mean, her on the offensive end and the defensive end. I mean, she can just do it all, and it's...
Yeah, and if you're looking at this replay here, Katrina Tice just able to get her hand on the ball and allow for that scoring chance to not happen for the Wolves.
She's been doing so well in this fourth quarter, and it's really helped the Huskies offense and defense on both ends.
Yeah, and I've noticed with both of these teams, we started off talking about a lot of players like Rogers and Tori Wartz, and it's kind of transitioned into some other players, which is nice to see because we were talking about wanting the scoring to be all over the lineup, but it was just a few of the players being able to put up some points. But now it's a lot of these other players that have had some great grade A scoring opportunities.
And here's Wartz again bringing it up. Back to Evans at the top here, trying to look for a inside play. And she looks for Evans, and that is good. Tori Wartz, Evans combo, they've been capitalizing so much on those two guards. They can play inside and outside, even for being smaller than who they go up against when they're at the forward spot.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is this Wolves team is a little bit bigger. They do look a little bit bigger than the Huskies. You know, we do have our key players that have a little bit of height, but if you're looking at this replay, you see Tori Wartz over and able to make that basket and put some more points up for the Huskies, and hopefully they'll be able to score some more. Their lead has increased by a little bit with just over 6 minutes left here in the game.
Back out to Wartz at the top of the key. She's gonna take a 3-ball, and that is short. Gonna be rebounded by the Wolves, taken back up by Philippi. She's gonna look to get some offense started here. She looks to get it out to the corner, and that's Garvey again for 3, and that one is long. With the offensive rebound by Philippi, and we're gonna have a foul call on the Huskies here. That's gonna be their third personal of this fourth quarter. The ball's gonna be taken out underneath by Tellis. She kicks it out to the point with the ball, tries to get it inside. She looks around, gets it to Rogers. Rogers had a good look for Philippi there. Philippi takes it out. 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and that's a steal by Caitlin Peterson. She looks up the court in transition, kicks it out to Wartz. Wartz to Tice. Tice looks to create something, back to Peterson. Tries to get it back to Tice, and that one is taken away by that Wolves defense that we keep talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that was just such a great defensive play by the Wolves, and they really took away that scoring opportunity for the Huskies, and they were able to get it into, hopefully create an offensive play for themselves, but the Huskies were able to take it back and ultimately ended up scoring on that play.
And that was a beautiful 3-point shot there by Brenna Evans, and that's going to be her 7th. Kicks it back out to Tellis. Back to the corner. Takes it back out is Philippi. She looks to get it over to Tellis. Tellis looks to get something started with this shot clock just dwindling and having no scoring chances on this one. I think this Huskies defense has been pretty solid in these last remaining minutes of this game.
Yeah, I think something that changed is if you're looking at the rebound here, it was pretty open for the Huskies and they were able to capitalize on that opportunity. But I was saying earlier is that earlier on in the game, they were keeping the play a little bit smaller, but they've been really able to open up the court here.
And Tori Wirtz has just been killing it tonight. I mean, 22 points she has. They're giving her a break after this timeout here, and we're going to have Morgan Draheim check in for her. But I think she's been super solid in this Huskies offense development for this rest of this game.
Yeah, and if we're talking about Tori Ward, she's played in 30 minutes so far in tonight's game, which is leading the team in minutes. Behind her is Erin Navatro with 28, and then Brenna Evans with 26 minutes played. So those are really the top players that we've been talking about a lot tonight, and it's hard when they're putting up minutes like that.
And even the players that maybe haven't had as much minutes that are still creating so much good offensive plays for the Huskies, like Tice has been doing so well inside and outside, and I think that's also gonna help the rest of their play.
Yeah, and even Peschel, she's only at 7 minutes, but I feel like we've been saying her name a lot as of late in this game, and she's really been helping the Huskies. Maybe not so much with the scoring, but she's definitely been able to set up plays and defend the Wolves to create opportunities for the Huskies.
And we're gonna get the ball back here, and it's gonna go to the Wolves. We'll see if they can inbound and get a good play off of this last 4 minutes. Looks to get it into Rogers. Rogers gets it back out to the point, inside to Johnson, and Johnson's up for 2, and she has been doing so well offensively, getting so many touches. Back out to Draheim. Takes it is Tori Peschel. Kicks it out, drives in, and that's gonna be foul on the play. And going to the line for the Huskies is gonna be Kelsey Peschel. You know, she's been so solid too in this offense. And that's gonna be 4 fouls on Haley Johnson. Haley Johnson has been so solid in the Wolves offense and defense, so if she gets taken out after this 4th foul, I don't think that's gonna be very well for them. Bringing up the ball is Tellis. The Wolves are gonna look to get a good scoring chance here, and Tellis takes it in and kicks it back out to Tellis. She drives in around the play, and that one did not go, but there's Rogers for the rebound. Haley Johnson looks to put it back up, and she is fouled and makes that one. She will be sent to the line. She's been so solid too. That's her 12th point, looking to get a 3-point play off that. So we have Haley Johnson at the line now. Checking back in for the Huskies is Caitlin Peterson. I think she's been doing so well for that Huskies offense too.
Yeah, she has. She's definitely a key player in the lineup, and she's been here for a while, as I believe this is her 5th year here at St. Cloud State, so she kind of knows the ins and the outs, and this is definitely a competitor that she's gone up against quite a few times, and she knows how they play. So it's definitely something that the Huskies can go to her for, is that she knows how this team plays.
And back with the possession is the Huskies. Brenna Evans looks for a 3-ball, and that one is long. Gonna be rebounded, and possession will go back to the Huskies. We have some new feet checking in for the Wolves here. First look tonight is for number 25, Brenna Ailson. Huskies with the ball here. Brenna Evans kicks it out to... That rebound will go to Tellis, and she'll take it up the court. And the Huskies are just going away with this lead now. Back out to Mika. She looks to get it inside. And that will be a foul on Tice. That's going to be the Huskies' 6th foul of this quarter. And we have another new face checking in for the Huskies with Drew Henning. This is going to be her first few minutes of this game, giving Brenna Evans a break. And Brenna Evans has just been so incredible for this Huskies offense.
Yeah, and she always is just such an incredible player. She's always able to create plays, and she's just such a consistent player in the lineup.
And at the line is Zoe Hardwick, looking to get her first point of the game. And she misses that second free throw. That's rebounded by Caitlin Peterson. Back to Henning, back out to Peterson. And with the ball right now, and there's gonna be a foul on the Wolves going to number 20, Rachel Garvey. And a few more Huskies checking in, looking to give these few veterans a break here that have just been doing so well. And I think this game is going to end in the Huskies' favor.
Yeah, that's a first look for Courtney Freeberg, and she's also out there with
Draheim. I think Draheim is going to have a great time playing with these new fresh legs out there. I think they're looking to give her a break too, because she's been solid at the guard. And that's going to be 2 offensive rebounds for the Huskies. Kicks it back out, and that's going to be a 3-ball that is short again with another Huskies rebound. That was 4 offensive rebounds right there. And like I said, their rebounding has just been so well.
Yeah, and we're talking about these new players. That was Elizabeth Warts with such a good shot. And, you know, Courtney Freeberg is out there helping to create some scoring opportunities.
And I think these new Huskies are getting so many chances. I mean, look at those offensive rebounds that they've been getting. I think that's really helped their game. They had so many looks this last round right here. And I think that they're going to look to get some more scoring even from these new faces coming from the bench. I think it's going to help them.
Yeah, and you know, these are some of the younger players that are being brought in, and a lot of the ones that are going out are seniors or even 5th years. So giving some of these younger players some playing opportunity, especially when we are up 57-41.
And if we talk about the scoring again for the Huskies, I mean, Huskies have 8 3-pointers and the Wolves do not have any. And I think that just shows the great looks that we have from the inside players that kick it back out. I mean, that's the best way to get those 3-pointers up.
Yeah, for sure, and I think that it has a lot to do with how the Wolves have been leaving it too open for the Huskies, and they've been able to create a lot of great scoring opportunities, and they're able to have some better looks than I think they're giving the Wolves, and that's definitely part of the reason that the Wolves are down by quite a few points with only 2 minutes left in this game.
Frolke has the ball. She kicks it out for a 3, and that is going to be good from Liza Warts. That's her first 3 of the game, and look at that. Now we're up to 9 3-pointers for the Huskies with 1:50 left to play. Kicks it into Hardwick. Hardwick looking around to get something back up, and that's going to be a rebound by the Huskies. But wow, even these fresh legs off the bench have gotten some great scoring chances here.
Yeah, and I mean, that was such a great play, and I'm not sure that it only took Elizabeth a few minutes before putting up some of her own points. So it's really great to see some of these younger players and these new faces out here for the Huskies putting up some points here late in the game.
And look at that 3. I mean, that was just awesome from Liza Warts. And I think everyone did touch the ball on that one. So I think it's great to see that. And it looks like the Wolves have a few new fresh legs out there too. Maybe this will stir up their defense in the last minute, 20 left to play here. The Huskies get it to Courtney Freeberg. Back out to Liza Warts. She drives it in, kicks it out to the 3-point line to Bridget Frolke. Back inside, and that is Jasmine Litt. That's going to be her first 2 points, but that passing there was just so awesome by the Huskies. I can't get over their passing tonight.
And I think, honestly, what really shows how well these Huskies are doing is just the chemistry that they have on the court. I feel like they all know where they're going to be, and even if a lot of these players that are out here right now, this is the first couple of minutes they're seeing in the game, and they're out there right away, and they just know where each other are going to be.
Back with the Huskies is Drew Henning. She tries to bring it around back into Bridget Frolke, and that's going to be 2 points for Courtney Freeberg. That's going to be her first 2 on of the night as well, and there's 30 seconds left to play here, and I think the Huskies are just going to run away with this one now.
Oh yeah, for sure, and it did not take long for these new faces to get some points there up on the board, and you know, it's crazy to see. It's been the same players pretty much this whole game, but it's crazy to see that even these new people, they spent no time before getting up there offensively.
And look at Liza Wards with that 3-pointer right there. That was her second one since she's got in. She's up to 6 points in the last few minutes here, and I think that's just so awesome. Garvey's gonna put up a 3, and that one was short. And what is that now, 10 for 3-pointers?
Yeah, and I mean, Liza is Tori Ward's sister, so it looks like this must just run in the family.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we were talking about those Tori Ward's 3-pointers, but the Liza Ward's 3-pointers comes in straight off the bench and hits 2. I think that's so awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it's showing the Huskies that Tori Wards is a 5th-year student, so she's going to be gone after this year. This is her last season, and of course, she's on fire. But look at what we have after her, too. We have her sister, Liza, who seems to have a very similar gameplay as her, and they've both been putting up the 3-pointers, and they both were playing. I know Liza wasn't in as long as Tori was tonight, but she was able to put up, what'd you say, six points here late in the game, and she was not in for that long. So, you know, as much as we're going to miss Tori and not having her here after having her here for 5 years, we do have Liza to look out for, and that I think that is super exciting.
And I really do agree with that Liza's play is a lot like Tori's, and I think that it's going to be good for her. I mean, she's a young player, but hitting those 2 threes right after is just so good.
Yeah, and now we're going to have Anna Baining, and she's joined again with the head coach of the women's basketball team, Lori Fish. And Anna, what's been going on?
Coach Fish, it's been a back-and-forth second half, and your team has been on fire with their 5-game winning streak and now their 6th win. What kind of resilience did you see on the court tonight?
You know, we always rely on our defense. You know, we only gave up 45 points, and our offense is coming. We go through moments where we kind of can't put points on the board, and then we get a spurt going. But we have a lot of poise. We have a lot of experience, a lot of seniors back, and they just figure out how to get it done.
And at this point in the season and the success your team has had, heading into tomorrow's game against Moorhead, what's your message to the team going to be?
Well, we got beat pretty bad last time we played Moorhead, and so I don't think there has to be a lot said. They know what's at stake.
Okay, thank you, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Are we going to talk about anything after, or just go right into the men's stuff?
No, we're going to have to go right into the bench, and I thought this game was going to be over earlier.
And that's all from me, courtside. And now we're getting ready for the men's game at 7:30. Thank you for watching.